I've been approached by the Green Party, whom I like. I voted for their candidate in the last. I don't vote for Democrats and Republicans. I am an independent through and through. I wrote the book, Democrips and Republicans, No More Gangs in Government. And the problem I see is this. If I accept the Green Party nomination, well, I could end up electing Trump. Because I'll give you the example. When I ran for governor of Minnesota as a third party, at the primary, which is 6 weeks before the general election, the Democrat was at 46%, the Republican was at 32%, I was at 10%. They made a mistake. They let me in the debates. In 6 weeks, I went from 10, now bear in mind it's a three-party race, it's not two anymore. In 6 weeks, I went from 10% to 37% and won. The Democrat fell from 46 to 28. The Republican basically stayed within the margin of error, 32, finished with 34. That's the problem. If I run, because I'm socially liberal, I'm going to steal Democrat votes to where I could ultimately elect Trump. And so I have to come to some agreement with the Democrats, and what I'm going to send to them is that let's ensure a victory. Let's the Democrats and the Greens get together and put only one candidate forward for both parties. That would ensure the Republicans would get beat. Now, don't get me wrong. I have issues with the Democrats, too, because on many things they're in bed together, and one of those major things is what I oppose, and that is war. And with these two parties, the United States is now a war culture. And we have to break that, and where I will go, we will continue at war, but I would bring all the troops home. And the new war, which we would put all of our revenue and our resources into, would be a war against the climate.
You have to put it there, Jesse, on the other side.
Because I believe this. I believe you're going to die from the climate long before you're going to die from a terrorist. And let me add this. The United States spends all of its money fighting the war on terror and its resources. Do you know where terrorism ranks in worldwide death? Number 32. Now again, where's common sense? Wouldn't it be better to spend your resources on 1, 2, 3, and 4 rather than number 32? 32? You can't even make the state finals if you're 32. You know?
He speaks an awful lot of sense.
So let me finish. So I'd love to tell you yes or no, but I don't know. And I'm going to Mexico in a month. I live off the grid down there. I watch no television for 3 months. I call it flushing out your brain. I will go there this year. I will flush my brain out. And when I come back in the spring, hopefully, I will have made a determination with myself. But rest assured, it will be myself who determines that with my wife of 43 years. And she don't want me to. And it's tough when the spouse doesn't want you to. And the reason she don't want me to, she told me point blank. She said, I don't want to be a widow. She said, if you're going to win, they're going to assassinate you. I don't know, but they did to Jack, they did to Bobby, and they did to your own John Lennon. Notice, everyone that stands for peace dies violently from a gun. Kennedy, both Kennedy brothers, Dr. Martin Luther King, John Lennon, all were voices of peace. They all died from a gun with violence. And yet Dick Cheney lives on forever.